Hey, my Married at First Sight Australia fans. Yes, we have yet another dinner party to talk about. First, we have that whole butt dial scenario come up in conversation again. Harrison shows up to the dinner party alone, solo dolo, and Cameron drops a bombshell, leaving Lindell devastated. Welcome back to Romance Review TV. It's Lady T, and I got another recap for you guys. Married at First Sight Australia, Season 10, Episode 28. And without any further ado, let's talk about this dinner party. So we're coming off of that partner swap challenge where it rocked more than a few relationships, especially notably Melinda and Layton.
When this challenge happened in the last few days, I've been worried that there will never be any budging with Layton, that he will never be able to see things from our perspectives or in my shoes. We've had a really rocky week. Nothing kind of touches his heart, it just touches the mind. But we've only got 2 weeks left. I want to try to see if somehow we can move these mountains. So I think we're coming in as a couple, a united couple.
It's a nice dress.
Thanks, babe.
I think that Mel and I walk into the dinner party tonight in a good space, but there still just feels like things that we haven't really addressed.
So I feel like we need to both be able to talk about our feelings and be able to communicate with each other about them in order to move forward. Every time we try to,
It just gets heated, and it doesn't need to be.
I just put red all over you. Yeah.
So, however, Melinda and Layton said that they are in a good place. Things between them are still unresolved since their last argument. However, for Lindell and Cameron, that task got them thinking about their plans for the future, or rather lack thereof. Cameron has made it clear to Lindell that his remote work means a long-distance relationship is the only way that they'll make things work, but he hasn't been completely honest about the length of time he could be away.
I started to realize that I need a partner that I can communicate freely with when it's easy and when it's hard, when it's personal and when it's not. Something that I learned from getting a second chance at life is that I don't want to waste time.
Obviously, I wanted to tell her the truth, but I didn't really know how to say it because I'm scared of how Lyndall's going to react when I do tell her. And at the moment, she doesn't know how much remote work I actually do and how long I'm away from home. Wow, look like a mermaid.
Thanks.
Out of water.
Fish out of water, yeah.
I am struggling to see what the future looks like for us and how this relationship's going to work on the outside. And I know I need to tell her.
Let's go. Let's rip the lid off.
Let's rip it off it.
Thank you.
Now, he admits to the cameras that he wanted to tell her the truth, but didn't know really how to say it because he's scared of Lyndall's reaction. But part of being in a relationship is effective communication. So now down the hall, we see Bronte having a conversation with Harrison about the girls' night where she stormed out after she was criticized over the authenticity of her relationship with Harrison, saying that she just couldn't sit there defending the two of them, herself and him, because she's being punished for being matched with him and for trying. Now, Harrison, however, feels like Bronte is pointing the finger at him, and when he reverts to his tactics, Bronte feels like she's being gaslit again. She told the cameras it's totally unreasonable for him to sit on that couch and play victim and act like he's all sad. Now, Bronte feels like she's hitting her head against a brick wall, and honestly, yeah, I think a lot of folks are. And she tells her husband that she just can't keep going around in circles. You and I are not good. We're not. And when Harrison asks what Bronte wants to do next, she says, you know what, I just want to go home. And I think that's obvious. They have nothing left. Turns out she really means it this time, and literally she tells the producers that she's going to go get on a plane and goes home. Now we're at the cocktail hour, and despite the fact that Bronte supposedly flew home, Harrison decides that he's still going to go and get his free food at the dinner party. But when he shows up at the dinner party alone, it definitely does not go unquestioned. And as Harrison starts to explain that he and Bronte aren't in a good place, he is saved by none other than one of his frenemies, Melinda and Layton, and their timely arrival. Now, look like after everybody get over the fact that we got Twin and Layton dressed up like twins in identical outfits, the focus returns right back to Harrison. And it's not only a matter of missing his bride, Rupert also want to know why Harrison again questions Evelyn's integrity over the whole butt dial situation when they were supposed to have buried that hatchet a few weeks ago. And a lot of that is because that conversation happened with Evelyn and Rupert earlier in the day before the cocktail party and the dinner party.
Melinda brought up a text message with Harrison.
Harrison showed me messages saying the butt dial's not real.
He's such a little gossip girl. I am never going to hear the end of this bloody butt dial.
Harrison is sitting there like, boil, boil, boil.
Yeah, I don't rate that behaviour.
In all honesty, I feel like Harrison is particularly set on this butt dial situation. For him to bring it up again to Melinda during the new pairing task, I think he plotted this little plan to discredit me.
I understand completely why you feel terrible right now. Harrison just wants to bring others down to his level. That is all he does. All he does is stir the pot.
Heading into the dinner party, I'm just tired of Harrison just throwing people under the bus. I definitely think he needs to be held accountable for constantly bringing other people down.
You look beautiful.
Thank you. So I think the best thing Harrison can do tonight is sit down and shut up and eat his steak. If I hear anything from him, the fire inside of me is going to come out.
It's interesting if you've seen the videos that I've posted with the interviews outside and after the season where Rupert in text messages actually admitted to the fact that the butt dial situation didn't happen. The timeline doesn't match up. I'll link that in that video. However, for the purposes of continuing recapping the show, we go back to the cocktail party where Harrison sidestepped the question supposedly, saying that he's disappointed that that's come back to the group because that was something that was supposed to stay between him and Melinda. Myself and Mel shared a lot of things over the 3 days. We did have discussions that we agreed would stay between us, whatever that is. And again, a lot of this stuff is chopped up, but I just find that whole thing that just keep coming up look like they're just trying to create additional drama. Let's move on. Now, as all of this is going back and forth, Harrison is saved by the clink of a champagne glass, signaling that the dinner party has arrived. Now, the group only becomes even more curious as they notice that there's no place setting for Bronte. Melinda is like, "Where's your wife?" And of course, Harrison shrugged it off. And Melinda tells the camera no one knows where she is, not even Harrison. And when Melinda asks why Harrison is at the dinner party when his wife is missing, he snaps back, "Am I not allowed to hang out with my friends?" It's a line that, of course, had the entire group laughing. Now, Harrison explains that Bronte has thrown her hands in the air and said that she has nothing left to give to their relationship. He doubled down on the end of their relationship, saying that there is unequivocally no chance that he will write stay at the next commitment ceremony, that they had a good long run of being really great together. It's not like it's been a yo-yo every week. I mean, yeah, it has been. But yeah, it's pretty much over. And of course, if she decides to leave, he's on a separate contract. I don't think he can go anywhere. Now, as for Alyssa, she's not buying whatever Harrison is saying. She's sick of the dinner party being consumed by Bronte and Harrison's fake relationship and wants to use this time to focus on real relationships that have real problems. For some unknown reason, Cameron takes this as his cue to tell Lindell the truth about his working arrangement, saying that it's time for him to face the music. He tells Lindell that there is no real point in her moving to him because he could be out in the bush for 6 months to a year without reception. And it's a revelation that is definitely hard for Lindell to hear. Everybody was pretty much shocked. However, Ollie has a suggestion if he would be willing to quit his job for Lindell.
Is there a world where you would quit your job? Because that's probably what's happened, or at least a pivot. Would you do that for Linus?
I want it to work. Like, I love Lyndall as a person.
So when you came in, like, we all got asked the question, would you move for love? What was your answer at that time before coming in?
I just said, that I would move for love. Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know whether Cam understands what he's actually saying. The whole group realises what he's saying here.
Yeah.
Lyndall certainly does as well.
My game plan was to get a shot in my career. Like it was, but I wanted to find love as well. And I think I'm at the point where, like, I want it to work, but also, I just feel like it's just gonna, it's gonna be a massive challenge for us.
I think a lot of the questions that the group asked Cam were questions that I had myself. And hearing that he came into this experiment thinking that if he met the right person, he would his job, he would move. So it was devastating that I'm not the person he was willing to do that for. That's the thing that hurts.
Well, even after Melinda asked Cameron, was he willing to move for love when the experts asked during the application process, when he answers yes, it's clear that he's willing to move for love, just not for Lindell. And of course, that was a sucker punch to the guts for Lindell. However, for Cam, all he did was take a swig of his beer, act like it was no big deal. And John was in the background wondering, I don't know if Cam realizes what he's actually saying. And the whole group realized what he's saying here. Lindell certainly does as well. And Lindell admitted to the camera, of course, that was devastating, that I'm not the person he's willing to move for. And that's the thing that hurts the most. However, Harrison now pipes up with his own solution to the problem, that Lindell should do some remote accounting. But no one is taking relationship advice from Harrison at this point, just because of the fact that he didn't show up with Bronte. And then finally, across the table, Melinda and Layton talk about their own potential moves. Somewhere in the mix, Layton rehashes the drama surrounding the whole partner swap challenge, namely his disdain for Harrison moving in with Melinda, him moving in with Bronte, and Melinda's general lack of support.
You said to me, this was a test. You said, Mel, you do it.
How was it a test?
My morals and values will not allow me, but you can do it.
No.
And then when I did it, you were like, I just hoped that you wouldn't. Then you did the 3 days away from me and you chose to have one more night to punish me more.
Oh my, Mel.
That's what it felt like.
All I wanted was just your support, and I didn't feel like I had it. That's it.
I try and support you. You don't let me. Why would I not support you? How many times have I said,
Okay.
That I supported you if you just let me. I respect your decision. Did I not say last night that I respect it?
Okay, but
what are you doing? Tit for tat.
In the moment, Mel, that's what we're talking about.
I didn't get a chance. You wall of China and shut me out.
I felt like it was a confrontational position with Harrison and Mel together. I felt like there were times laughing together, mocking me.
No, you're saying
that's how I felt, Mel.
You felt Harrison as a threat.
You
said it would be okay with Ollie or Duncan. You said that then
no,
it was
I did
about
not say that. You started joking about nobody's fault.
What the hell did he just say? That's bullshit. That's not true. It was a great night.
He gets frustrated when Melinda cuts in, but the group seems to side with her and think a closed-minded Layton is seeing things too black and white. And Melinda was like, I knew as soon as this came up, we're going to butt heads, and butt heads did they do. Things really went south when Layton brings up the apparent joke Melinda made about putting keys into a bowl. Melinda called that a flat-out lie. And then on that note, of course, we saw Melinda pull a whole Bronte move and storm out of the dinner party. Okay, so let's get the conversation started down in the comment section. What do you think about this whole situation between Cameron and Lindell? Do you think it's something else and they're just ready to tap out? Or does it have anything to do with the fact of the moving situation? Maybe somebody could go remote to make it work if they truly, really want to make it work. And then this whole situation around Bronte, I'm over it. Stay tuned for some updates I just got earlier this morning in regards to her whole situation with this fake relationship. So stay tuned for that. So I hope you enjoyed this recap. Stay tuned for other recaps and updates on this channel. And until the next video, like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.